Welcome to Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday. On behalf of Olivia Bowe, who is missing today, and myself, Nancy Gaskins, we want to welcome you. We've got an exciting new workshop series starting today called Provision for Your Vision. What's your dream? How to create, fund, and live a life worth smiling and talking about. And before we get started, we got a couple of announcements, but Juanita is here right now and she is in Germany, and I've just asked her to share. She's been traveling all over. She went to India and, Italy, I think, and some other countries, and Nepal. And so tell us how you're doing as far as the phone service goes. And then are you having any trouble like uploading to Facebook? And then if you were to have lost your phone the other day, you've been doing all these videos and stuff. So I know you've got stuff on Facebook, but are you doing anything to back all that up and give us kind of a lowdown on what you're doing?
Let me tell you all, it is important that you back your stuff up. So the easiest thing, is the Google accounts. So if you got a Google, thank goodness. The cobblestones here are difficult. And of course, you get old. I can't do 2-3 things at the same time anymore. I tripped on one of these cobblestones and my phone fell, hit the ground, and within 5 hours, it started turning purplish black, and then my screen totally went away. Thank goodness my cousin had a backup. I have a phone that has 2 chips in it. So I have an American phone number in here and a German phone number. So this is my personal phone. So I also have an iPhone, but that's my work number, but I can't put 2 numbers in there. So instead of carrying 3 phones, that's what I do. So since I had everything backed up on Google, it was so easy. He just ordered me another phone and transferred all of my stuff. Didn't lose any of my pictures because I have it set that every day, all the pictures I take, they back up there in my Google account. If it gets large, pay the extra, $1.99 a month or something, and put that space up there in the cloud, because till I get home, I'm going to download that onto a hard drive that I have at home. But for the time being, back your stuff up. It's the easiest thing. Yes, overseas calls will cost you a lot. And so that's why I keep a German chip in here to make any of my European calls. But some carriers do have some good deals. I think T-Mobile has like a $5 a day deal where you can do some things. But you try to stay off the SMS and some of the calls, because the calls can cost you 50 cents a minute. That starts getting in there. So one of the other tricks that I have, I use Vonage, which is my internet phone. So it's at home in Florida. So it's, Wi-Fi phone. Well, I have the Vonage. It rings at home in Florida, but it also rings here in Germany. And they don't know the difference. So it's an American number. And I can do international calls from it off of my phone. I can assign up to 4 different phone numbers that can use that Vonage account, which is, I think it's like $14.95 a month. And so for me, it's worth it because, those phone bills could be horrible. But the best thing that I think I did this time was I cannot run an office, a business, Zooming, you can't do that off of a hotspot on a phone. That gets to be very, very costly. And then they start looking at your gigabytes. Well, I've got T-Mobile, which is unlimited. So, it shouldn't be that much. But what I did was I purchased myself a hotspot for Germany. I love this little box. We went camping in the RV. I took my hotspot with me and I was in the camper working. It will work with batteries. It runs for about 2 hours without being plugged up. It's a USB connection, which was the best thing. But what the nice part is you can put different chips in here, just like a telephone. And so with this hotspot, it cost me about $100 for the box, which is mine. I can turn it off and on whenever I want. So there's no monthly fee, which everybody, of course, wants you to do with everything that you're doing. Everybody wants a monthly fee. But with this, I can turn this off and on anytime when I need it. So for about $42 a month, I get about 5 gigabytes of data. That pretty much takes care of me. I haven't run out of data yet. It's been really great. And if I go to another country back here, I could, if I need to get another, I could get a chip for a certain country. But right now I mainly use it for Germany. So this came from Telecom, which is sort of like T-Mobile. But they're a little comparable. So they have these things going back and forth. But yeah, I'm in my little home office here. Oh gosh, I have to move out. I was here for a month. I just loved it. Was able to do a lot of things. Going to a Rotary ball tomorrow night. And then heading back home on the 5th. So I'll be glad. Oh, I heard y'all have some hot weather there. Ooh, today it's raining a little bit. I love it. It's about 75, 85 degrees here. I'm good. So I'm not missing that Florida 100-degree weather. But I tell you, on the road, it's rough. I've got 2 suitcases here. I'm trying to divide out. You can take 6 bottles of wine with you. So I'm trying to squeeze in some more stuff in there, you know, because I got some jam and stuff some folks gave me. I've got some wine jelly I'm trying to get home. I have Dinkel-Acker barbecue seasoning. So for those of you know what that is, Dinkel-Acker is beer. I don't drink beer, but let me tell you, I had some of the seasoning. Oh my God. So I'm gonna take that home for my husband. So there's all kinds of little stuff. And I'll be back here in September. So it looks like I probably might have to ship something home or have the rest of it come back with me in September.
So on that phone that you've got 2 chips in there, I guess I'm a little bit ignorant on that. I didn't know that was a capability that you can have.
Certain phones can do that. So I spent a lot of money. You know, the iPhone you need because of the comparability of certain gadgets that you may have. But I used to have a Samsung. So you can't see this on here, but this is the name of the company is Redmi. It's a Chinese phone, okay? It is half the price of my Samsung. And one of the things that it does do is that double chip. Now, Samsung does have a phone that does double chip, but you're gonna spend $800 for that phone.
Yeah.
The very first Redmi, Xiaomi, I think is the name of Xiaomi is, all of your AT&T knows the phone. You go to any store, they know this brand. They know it. They can fix it. They can do anything with it. But this phone will start anywhere at $200 up, a whole lot cheaper. You don't have to unlock anything. You can put any kind of chip in there because, you know, some people, you've got to have certain things and you got to, it's proprietary. This one, you can put anything in here, any kind of chip. One of them even can be an e-chip. No, I noticed that in my iPhone.
Do me a favor, if you can write the name of that in the chat, that would be great. Thank you very much for the update. Richard, I just wanted to say thank you very much for hosting for me while I was out for Rob's surgery. And I got that put up. I was a little late getting that up, but I really enjoyed listening. And one of the things that I hadn't thought about that y'all run into the trouble that I want to share with you how to fix that issue is if you ever have to host for me or anybody else, I didn't tell you how to make somebody else the co-host to help you get in. And the way that you do that on mine is you click the 3 buttons up there, and on mine, it will, which why it's not showing that up right now is beyond me because I know I made Claudio co-host. Hang on just a minute. Let's see here and make sure. Yeah. Okay. So when you click the 3 buttons, for me, it's ask to unmute, stop video, chat, pin, spotlight for everyone. And then in the second section, it says make host or make co-host. So whoever you want to help you, make them co-host. Because if you make them host, you can't do anything anymore. Okay. But so you would just click the 3 dots and then you would go down under make co-host. And then the other thing that I learned was you can, like, for example, if I had an emergency, I could give y'all somebody a PIN number and you could take over my Zoom for me. But I've not seen that option. I've set it up. but I think it's because there's a waiting room. So I think in order to use that option, you can't have a waiting room. I'm not positive, but I sent in a message for that because all of us could be in that situation and you would want somebody, to be able to get in and say, hey, it's been canceled, or here's what we're going to do, or anything like that. So if you're running Zooms on a regular basis, like I am, these are things that are very important that you need to have set up. Now, I know that pin in the beginning for the takeover, you do have to have that set up, but just for somebody to co-host, you don't have to do anything, I don't think, in your settings that I can recall, but you can just do it straight right here from the screen. Okay. So thank y'all for helping with that. And yes, Bruce.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're setting up your meeting, there's a setting you have to make sure is turned on so that you can make somebody else a co-host.
Oh, okay. I just kind of did it from the very beginning and kind of have left it, the same ever since. But anyways, and I'm sure they have some new things that I don't know, that new cool stuff that we can be doing. But anyways, Barry, been doing lots of fun activities with the family. You got anything you want to share about your fun adventures?
Well, today is a special day. My son-in-law and my son both had their birthdays today. And we got to celebrate last weekend with Linda and Jason, right between their two birthdays. So I took them out to a great dinner. Jason came down, spent the afternoon and evening with us. What more could that be? And then on Wednesday for Linda's birthday, her son had a family dinner with both the grandbabies. The older one is working almost every day, and the younger one, he's out doing his special things. So it was cool to be with them. And today, Linda's over in Washington, D.C. Metro with the ladies PGA, watching a round of golf with them. And tomorrow morning, we take off to West Virginia for the weekend with a friend and also her office manager. So it's kind of cool. Past couple of weeks, just being with what we care about.
Absolutely. And for all you men out there who are fathers, happy belated Father's Day. That's such an important job that sometimes it's, I don't know, sometimes mom get the bad stick, sometimes the dads do. You just never know. But I just want to really put it out there. Thank you for all you guys do for your families, because I know the people that we have in this group are wonderful men, heart-centered men, family-oriented, God-fearing, and I just love each and every one of you. Richard, where are you today?
I'm going to butt in before you get to Richard. Okay. I forgot. And my granddaughter is going to be 9 on July 3rd. She's down at her grandma's house for a month. She's going to go to day camp there for a month. I'll get to see her. I'll get to see my daughter for the first time in 2 years. So we're looking forward to that.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, Richard, now tell us, in the grand scheme of Mexico, north, south, east, west, where are you? Man, those pictures that y'all posted the other day was incredible of that little city you're in. You may not still be there.
4 days now. We were on the West Coast for 3 weeks and it was very hot and humid. So we cut that short. We're in the mountains in called Morelia. So it's very much a cultural city. People come here to go to school for their arts and music and dance here. Apparently, and we're right in the core of it. So it's Morelia is how you spell it. So 700,000 people. So we've been out walking, taking pictures, all kinds of markets. I mean, and we met a group of, I would say expats last night, basically they're all Americans. So I had a good chat with them, very strong in their political opinions. So we just kept their mouths shut and, and stayed out of trouble. But good people, and since the weather here is much cooler, so it gets into the high 80s, cools off at night. So these homes don't have air conditioning or heat. So the the climate is very livable here for us. Cools down nicely at night and lots of sunshine. I think this is a pineapple capital as well from what the field is coming in
Oh.
with that. But yeah, lots of food. And again, just it's crowded like the streets are busy. Most of them don't, like a lot of them don't even have stop signs. It's just people, it's all honor system and very tight sidewalks. So you pay attention to where you're walking and they make eye contact across these streets because again, a lot of no lights. So it's keep your head up and be smart about what you're doing. And we love it. We love it here. So we might think long-term here, but again, we get burnt out after about 3 weeks, but this city has so much potential for us to just stay interested in and not burn out. We're like squirrels. So
Well, I'm curious, you were talking about the walking. So do y'all have like a moped? Do you use taxis if you need to go somewhere long distance? Do you walk? What's your mode of transportation?
right now walking, my plan is to never own a car again. So what the Ubers and taxis are very affordable down here. So a lady we've met lives out of some blocks away. She has an Uber. Her costs for her about $30 a month for Uber. The utilities here are quite cheap. Like I said, her cell phone cost her like $10 a month US.
Wow.
Her hydro, I think, is about $20 a month. Her gas bill or water bill is about $20 a month, like varying stations. So it's their utility cost is extraordinarily affordable. Food cost is extremely good in these areas. And these are not your high-end areas, but they're still very livable. Yes, there's security and there's gates and stuff, but that's part of the South American culture in general. And again, mind your own business. We're not night owls, be careful where you're going. It's a very safe community when you do your research and know where you can go and shouldn't go, like any city, anywhere.
Right. What, can you give us a range as far as, excuse me, on your like nightly bill or a monthly rent there or something like that to kind of give us an idea?
Right now, I think we're with Canadian with the Airbnb cost for around $1,500 a month. Now we could drop that down quite a bit by going on half in some of these places. So again, that it's affordable. Like people think we have all kinds of money. We don't. We're living well within our means. We don't drink. We don't smoke. When you get the internet here, which is Telemex, and apparently it's the really top-notch internet. Like it's high speed. You actually get a bunch of TV programs with it, like similar to Netflix included. Your cell phones, you buy a 3 gig data plan, which is like $10 or something like that. You get all your social media for free. So it's strictly usage on your that, and there's all our use the Wi-Fi networks, so you don't have these long distance bills. So again, it's affordable living on
Right.
on a certain income.
Wow. That's amazing. Marsha, you want to give us an update on what's been going on with you? You are on mute.
About 2 weeks ago, we interred an aunt of mine. I'm in Toronto, Canada, and so I'm in the province of Ontario for people that are not in Canada. So we went up to Northern Ontario. We had family come in from California, New Brunswick. And one of those family members went to the province of Quebec, which is right next to the province of Ontario. And she managed to get hold of the family tree. She called it the Red Book. And she found 3 monuments in Quebec City, in Old Quebec, that listed all our ancestors who came over from France and settled in Quebec City in the mid 1600s. So I found that fascinating. So now I have an interest in my family tree. And the aunt that was interred wanted to be with her parents. So my grandparents on one side of the tombstone had both of their names. They both passed on. So I said to my sister, let's check the other side of the tombstone, see what it says. My sister looked at me like I was nuts. I go around to the other side, and the parents of my grandparents were listed there. So he was like 1850 to 1926. So it was quite interesting that we have all this family history in Quebec City, and they all came from France.
Wow.
Yeah, so I found that fascinating.
That is
Very cool.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, I'm excited because in July, at the end of July, I get to go to Wisconsin and visit all my kids. If everything goes well, we're all going to converge on my middle son's house up there. They've been up there a little over a year now. And I've been dying to go to that air show it's a world-class air show called Oshkosh. And it's, you know, stuff from all over the world, experimental, than the old World War. I mean, it's just amazing. It's a week-long event. We're not going to be doing that all week long. We're going to go for one day only. But I'm just excited because my family, you know, is aviation background, that we've never got to go and then get to have all the kids up there. And it's really, really beautiful up by the, it's New London where he's at. But anyways, we're going to get to see some parts of the Great Lakes, or, you know, some of that I've never seen. So I'm just excited. I did not realize how close they were to Canada.
Yeah.
I was looking at that map the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I had a little bit more time, which I don't even know if we're allowed to go in with any of that now. Are we allowed to go to Canada right now?
I think so, yeah.
US, back and forth across the border? If you don't have shots?
Oh, well,
Yeah,
You gotta be vaxxed.
yeah,
waxed.
they're changing the rules, but vaccines are still in place right now.
Okay. I did
Yeah.
not know. And
Yeah.
I'm not, so that would be an issue. That's what I was.
And yeah,
that's-
the other thing, Linda and I took a trip up there. You have to get a international test. Probably Juanita's familiar with that, an international test within 72 hours of crossing the border.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Except our prime minister is allowed to travel in and out of the country whenever he wants, even when he has COVID. So it's interesting rules.
Isn't it though? Do as I say, not as I do. Oh, man. Well, we're
Yeah,
going to go
you
ahead.
need a PCR test for any of the borders within 72 hours, a PCR, not the fast one, it's the PCR.
Okay. And how long does that take to get back the results?
Anywhere from 12 to 24 hours.
I thought that was dropped though. I remember reading somewhere that coming into Canada, we don't need it anymore. If we're going out of Canada and coming back,
Yeah,
We
some
don't need-
places you have to either show that test or vaccine.
I see.
yeah, well, we've been
Well-
double vaxxed and a booster. So yeah, I've been told that we don't need that PCR test anymore.
That's right. If you're double vaxxed, you don't need the PCR test coming
Yeah.
into Canada.
Let's go ahead and do a screenshot. We haven't done that in a while and I keep forgetting. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Okay, a couple of more announcements before we get started on today's stuff. First of all, we've got co-op dues coming up July 1st. So all of you who are in the co-op, for those of you who want to join the co-op, it's $30, $50, or $100 every 90 days. And I've made a new change that instead of cash, I'm converting everything over to crypto. It's going to make my life a whole lot easier. And so your payments now, and plus I want to get everybody used to using crypto because that's what we're doing. So you can pay in USDT or Bitcoin. Those are going to be the two options. And depending on which one, I'll give you the wallet. Yes, Barry.
Are you going to send third grade, one syllable instructions? 'Cause I do nothing in Bitcoin and never plan to. So I'm kind of stuck doing it with us.
Okay, no problem. I'll work with you. And if we need to do yours in cash, we can. It's understandable, but we'll try and work with you to, you should be able to do it. Cash App for those of us in the United States has been working super easy. And most of us have not had an issue. Some have, but anyways.
Yeah,
How did
don't
you-
know
how
what
did
that is, so just need a little help.
Okay, did you, you're in Novatech, right?
In Novatech, right?
Okay, how did you buy your Bitcoin there? Do you remember?
Go ahead, Claudio.
Okay,
I don't remember which wallet it was, but I mean, I walked him through it. So it was a pretty simple process.
okay.
I think you used Coinbase, didn't you? If I'm not mistaken.
Hold on, I can tell you real quick. I still have it in there.
Yeah, I've helped so many people. It's hard to keep track of.
Coinbase.
Okay,
Yeah, so I just
And-
walked them through it, shared the screen, and
okay. Sounds good. Well, we'll get you on that. Okay, at our co-op meeting on Tuesday, which I did make that, I don't remember if it was private or unlisted, whichever one that allows me to share it out with certain people so that you could view it. One way you can't do that, I learned. So anyways, if you want a link to that, I'm not going to post that out publicly because we are a private group. And since I know all that stuff now, we have to be careful with that. Yes, Barry.
Yeah, please send it to me.
Okay. If you'll put me a note in the chat so that I can remember to do that, I'll do that. At the co-op meeting, we went over all of the things that was going on, and Fernando gave us some information on the GS 999 project that they have a country inside the metaverse, and that was pretty interesting that we learned about that. Barb, we talked about the fuel tab, and she was on here just a second ago. Yeah, Barb, have they got the website fixed yet, or do you have an update for us on that?
I did hear that the website was back up again. They were hacked and hacked badly for a couple of days. When I say hacked badly for a couple of days, they lost a few days of people who were signing in and signing up. I believe it's been fixed. I haven't checked this morning, but there was notes yesterday that it was back up.
Okay, fantastic. And then I did watch a video or something on that somebody had said that they had started shipping a little early. Do you have any news on that, or did they go ahead and start, or what do we need to know about that?
The shipping has started. It started on Monday. My product should be here today. I'm expecting today or Monday. So they've already rolled out enough fuel tabs to treat over 500,000 gallons of gasoline or diesel. So, and for those of you who didn't hear anything about this last week, this is a patented fuel tab that has been in the marketplace for 30 years for industrial applications. It is now coming to the consumer market. It helps you save fuel, reduces your maintenance, and my favorite part about it is it reduces 70 to 80% of the toxic emissions that are coming out of your exhaust.
And one of the things that I did, guys, is I put links to videos underneath the co-op deal there. I put one just for like the business opportunity video. And then I put another one, which for all of you guys and gals who want to know all the details about the science behind it and all of that, I put that video in there as well. So you can go to our Facebook pig group and you can get that information, as well as our co-op link. It was free to sign up for an affiliate, but I did see where in order for us to get the commissions, we have to buy at least the $60 a month package, I think, or something like that.
That's correct.
Which anyways, we'll see about that. But I went ahead and signed us up for the co-op. The other one was Angela was talking about a trading platform, and we're going to run this through the pig group. And that means that anybody who wants to participate in this particular project, you can, in increments of $100. And we do have $2,500 pledged towards the $5,000 minimum. And I'm going to put that out there as well on a video today. So anybody who wants to do that can do that. Now, I know there's also $100 a month fee, and I've got to talk to her. I talked to her a little bit this morning. We're going to do a video. I'm not sure if that can be taken out of earnings or exactly what. So I need to get a little bit more details, but that is a trading algorithm that's been doing really good. The one that she told us about, I think last year when we started up our co-op, and they've changed the way that they're doing business because everybody was like, let's just say, signing up and then giving all their friends, family, and everybody else the signals. And so it was ripping them off. And so they quit doing that because I think it was like a lower minimum. Now the minimum is $5,000 on that one. So we can pool our resources and get involved in that. So everybody is not out, a big amount of money and just test it. So anybody that's interested in doing that in increments of $100 or more, get with me on that. Last night, I had an exciting meeting with the Gutsy Old Broads here locally, and it was a lot of fun. And what they had was they had a presentation that I was so excited to hear about gold and silver. And it was the company supposedly, and I've got to do more research on it, obviously, because I just learned about it. It's like the number one, I believe, in the world of the US. I can't remember, but they have teamed up with someone. And so there's two sides, several sides, but let's just say you can buy gold and silver at cost, not markups, cost. They buy it in huge bulk. It's a membership plan, and there's 3 different levels of membership that you buy, and that allows you several different benefits. One is buying, and then they also have collectible coins, which there was some really cool collectible stuff that you can get into for those that might be interested in that. Me personally, I'm just interested in buying some gold and silver, because one of the things that I learned, I've been watching that docuseries, and we're going to be going through that over the next couple of weeks, what I learned. And it was these the big financial heads from all over the world got together and they made this docuseries, and it was a lot of different viewpoints, but they talked about crypto, they talked about gold and silver, they talked about stocks, bonds, all of that stuff. And an overarching theme was you need to have 10 to 15% of your portfolio to hedge against inflation in gold and silver. And one of the things that they also shared that I didn't know, I think I might have shared this with you last week, but when the Russians' ruble tanked, that's all we heard was the Russian ruble tanked. Okay. But what we didn't hear about on the news was they immediately put their ruble against the gold standard again. And within 3 days, the market rate for their ruble was right back up and then some to where it was. So it was now a stable coin backed by gold. And now some of the other countries are following suit, and they're going to the gold standard. It's all being quietly done. And these central banks are not telling us, but if you was to go and look at that money supply and look at their balance sheet, you would see that they are buying crypto and they are buying gold and silver. Because what also I learned was 40% of the money in circulation in the United States right now today was printed in the last 2 years. 40% of all the money in our circulation of the US, that's crazy. And we are over 9% inflation here in the US. We're not the only ones. The other countries have printing machines too, and they've been printing like crazy to get themselves out of, their trouble. You can't print your way out of trouble, folks. It's just a nightmare, and we're seeing it everywhere. The cost of goods and services. And on this docuseries, they were expecting us to hit a 10% inflation within a very short period of time, like within the next couple of weeks or something here. So get ready, with the food prices and all of the stuff. It just absolutely blows my mind. So this is available in a lot of countries. Canada, I asked specifically, yes. And what's really cool about this particular one was they have a Visa card, or I believe it's a Visa card, debit card, let's just say. And you can buy and store gold, silver, fiat, and you can use it. And what's cool is it is backed by the gold. So all the money that you put into this account, you're backed by gold. So you're hedging against inflation. So when you go spend your money at Walmart or the grocery store or whatever, you're using dollars, you're using gold. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be worth more. And I've got to dig into that a little bit to make sure that I'm understanding it correctly. But the other thing is we can send each other money back and forth, gold, silver, whatever, for free. They're making money off of the membership is where they're making the money, off of it. It's cheap. It's not expensive. There's 3 different levels, and there's a business opportunity tied to it as well. But the big one that I was really excited about is they have this health insurance component, because there was a lot of people getting into this full-time, entrepreneurs, and we have trouble getting health insurance, and health insurance is outrageously expensive. So they went out and they got supposedly one of the largest health insurance carriers. And so it's a group plan. So you don't have to qualify for it or anything, and you would be immediately accepted. And there's like 3 different tiers of healthcare also. So I thought, that might be a good option for some of us, even as a supplemental insurance policy. But it's definitely worth checking into. And again, I've got the link. It happened last night, so I've not had a chance to go through that. But it's my understanding that you can buy just the bullion, gold and silver. And silver is really hot right now. For whatever reason, they're thinking that is, they're really touting buying silver right now. Buying both, and then again, don't have more than 10 or 15%. But the example that they gave last night was pretty wild. They said if you had, I want to say $1,200, don't quote me on that because it might not have been that. I'll have to look at the website, but just for example purposes, if you have $1,200 back in the day, you could have bought a Mustang car. Okay. And they showed a box of gold worth $1,200, some bars of gold, $1,200, and a stack of cash for $1,200. Well, if you went today to go down to the dealership and you had both of those options to buy that Mustang, they would laugh you out, right? $1,200. But if you had gold, you would be able to buy 3 of those Mustangs today. So they were showing you how powerful that gold has held its value. And, it's been since the beginning of time. It's God's resource. Man made money, made the dollars and the coins and all of that stuff, but gold and silver, that's God's currency. So anyways, I thought that was kind of an interesting scenario. So let's see if there's anything else on that. Anybody else have anything, any announcements or anything that they want to share before we get moving? Yes, Richard.
If I may add, Claudia is part of the networking group Bang out of Toronto. And the last few weeks they've been talking about crypto and different things as well in their group. Just Kim Schofield out of Vancouver is a crypto expert in security. So if I may, she just put a couple links out there that start sharing some of their stuff about security. There is some paid stuff down the road. I think if you want to buy into it, I'd like the opportunity to share it, because she said we're all in the markets, and she said the security is ongoing. So anything we can do to keep ourselves secure, I think would be a good place good awareness for us to have.
One of the things also that they shared, and I thought this was rather interesting, it's a privately held vault and scenario. So it's not government, ran or anything like that. And then they also have a thing on there where, usually you go down to the bank, and do you remember how much it is before it gets flagged by your bank, before they start reporting on you? Do you remember how much that is usually? For us here in the United States, I think it's $10,000. So you want to stay below the $10,000 threshold. Well, on this particular one, they have a thing put in place, so you're not allowed to go over $10,000, up to that point a day aggregate. So that's helping you save yourself, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. And I thought that was a pretty cool deal. And then they had, what was the other thing that they had talked about? I guess the #1 grading gold and silver grading company in the world has partnered with them because they are making so much, and they hold this vault, and the way that they're doing it, I guess, is unique. And so anyways, it's just pretty, I can't wait to dig into it just a little bit more to learn. Yes, Bruce, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to share that, Laurel's big table that I'm part of, they had some Ask Laurel the other day, and they had some different experts, including Kelly Korshak, who's the AI genius behind the iFlip platform. And they were talking about the economy and what's coming up. Says we're starting in, to the recession, and different things to be aware of is that you don't want to do unnecessary spending. This is discretionary spending, like you don't buy a new car, don't buy a new house, don't buy that big screen TV. Cash is king. Because they said everybody that's ever made it big was coming out of a recession. They had the cash on hand to take advantage of the different, low prices on different deals that they could get into. And they also said that the iFlip is the AI platform, and it's not really doing much because the way the stock market and crypto is behaving right now. And about 9 months or so ago, Kelly Korshak was saying that Bitcoin is, at that time, was like 40 some $1,000s a coin. They said by the early this year, it was going to probably go in half. Right now it is like 21,000, I think, or whatever. And it was at 15, I think, on Saturday, or 17 on Saturday. And they said that by the end of this year, it's going to drop below probably 15. So if you've got crypto, what they're saying is just hold, just like stocks. You don't realize the loss until you sell it.
Yes.
So just hang on to your crypto. It says if you want to get into some more, then that's fine. But the stock market, the big funds, the S&P 500 and all those, the market is actually much worse than what is being reported, because you have that wide variety of companies, and you got a few big ones that all of them are losing money, but a lot of the big ones aren't losing as much. So they're offsetting the true losses, and it's not looking as bad as it really is. So just be aware of that. But they said that all of them were saying, especially real estate is really trying to build a new home. This is most of the materials costs are still way up, so expensive in that to buy or build a new home. But they're saying that this recession that we're going into is not going to be like a 2008, downturn, and that's just going to be more of a managed kind of thing. So that'll last maybe 6 to 12 months. But cash is king.
Yeah. And with our food prices and our, gas prices and all of that stuff, I mean, I've noticed that I have slowed down a bit on my running. I'm normally running, and I'm not doing so much, excuse me, of that right now. But we do want to save some of our cash because, excuse me just a minute, I got a frog in my throat. We want to save our cash because, we, every 90 days, we're putting money into these projects and different stuff. We don't know what's going to come down the pipe to be available. So we want to make sure that we as a group, individually as well, that we have money set aside where we can take advantage of some of this stuff. I mean, I'm not opposed to us entering the stock market. You know what I'm saying? If there's some good buys later on, I mean, I'm open for anything. And one of the things that the project that Bruce and them was talking about is they are dealing with crypto and the S&P, 500. And so that would be a good place for us to start, just because it's a whole lot safer than just doing individual stocks and all of that stuff. It's like a mutual fund,
Yeah, and it's actually it's a artificial intelligence driven, and they got smart folios where you can do just stock funds or crypto, or they're coming up with a hybrid that's actually got both of them that Smartfolio. So it automatically gets in and out. You just set it and forget it.
Well, and that's one of the things, you know, I want us to be well-rounded. I want us to be well-versed in all realms of personal finance, you know, and money and wealth building. And so to have experience that we've got a little bit of money in each one of these different, you know, type sectors is really, I think will be advantageous for all of us. And then another thing, hang on just a minute, Marcia, and then I'll get you. I know we had talked a while back about insurance, and I need to get moving because I want to get our workshop going. But, you know, we talked about you having the whole life insurance and then borrowing against it. One of the things that we need to learn, because I heard a little bit on a seminar the other day, there are some requirements, and depending on how old you are and where you are and all of that stuff and how much income you make is going to determine whether you can take advantage of that opportunity or not. So some of us, you know, I'm sitting here fixing to be 60. I may not can take advantage of those opportunities where somebody younger could get in on that and have time for that to grow and have cash value and all of that stuff. So we need to kind of hurry up and learn about that because some of us may be right on the teetering edge of being able to take advantage of that option or not. So if you've got anybody in your circles of influence that might could speak to that for us, I would appreciate, let's get them in here and let them do a little presentation and kind of show us how we might could or could not, and, you know, kind of the pros and the cons and different things. I'm not looking at it, like I said, as a life insurance policy. I'm looking at it as a wealth building tool. So it's not, you know, that important that I have a death benefit. It's more important that I can use that money and leverage it. Okay, Marcia, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to know, I'm just going to change the topic for a minute. Any update at all about COTPS?
No, I don't have anything, haven't seen anything. I know there's some fake ones that have tried to emulate what they were doing out there, and one's already pulled the rug. I do know that. It was only lasted about 2 weeks, I think, before they pulled the rug. And I looked at it and it was very similar in the way it looked and all of that stuff, how they were set up, but there was typos and, you know, all that stuff, which, you know, just somebody basically just swiped part of their site and redid it.
So I just went to Facebook and I just put in COTPS, and the first group that popped up was called COTPS scam. Now what? And it has 1,800 members.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably old. The best way that I have found to kind of keep on the pulse of what's going on in a lot of these projects is I use Telegram now. So I just go up there and use the search bar, and I'll do that, and you'll see what people are saying, and that's kind of up to date. Also on YouTube, they make videos. Now, I will warn you, a lot of them are using that as their keyword and they're promoting another product. So they got you, you know, you do that to look and see what's going on with COTPS, and what they're really doing is, you know, it's bait, clickbait for you.
You'll find the same thing with Cash FX and Novatech.
Yeah.
They've been around for 3 years.
Oh, also Novatech, just, you know, they hit their 3-year anniversary. So they're now going into year 4. So they had a little party last night, little video, and they have some exciting. I didn't mean to take up this time, but I'm here. Might as well go ahead and tell you. Anyways, some exciting stuff going on. They're getting, you can imagine, and they use this example online on Black Friday when you can shop online, whatever that's called. You know how we have that, where everybody goes shopping for Christmas online, and it, you know, some websites crash and all that stuff because there's so many people trying to shop. Well, that's kind of sort of what's going on with Novatech on Fridays and Saturdays, because everybody is going in to check their accounts and moving their money to their PAM account to trade on Friday and Saturday. And so what they've come up with, which I'm very excited about, is they're going to have an automated option, you know, kind of like it'll automate for you if you choose. You could do a percentage. So for example, on your commissions, if you only wanted 50% to be transferred over to your PAM account, that's coming. And so I'm thrilled because right now that's all we're doing, is we're just transferring it over to the trading account. So that will take a lot of stress off of their website infrastructure. And let me see what the other exciting stuff was happening. I made some notes if I could find them, but they just went through quite a few little things that they're working on and showed how and why that they're still profitable, when the markets are tanking. Well, they've got a lot of different things that they're doing, and they get paid going up and paid going down, and they have real live traders. They don't have, computers doing their traders. They got some, I hope nothing ever happens to those traders. And I hope they're teaching, they're mentoring others, to do what they're doing. But anyways, they've had a major success. And they talked about how far they've come in 3 years. They started out with, let's just say, they had 20, and that was a big deal to them. And then they was in, Barbados when they had the idea, and then 90 days later they opened it up, and then they took us, every 6 months or something through what they had done all the way up till today. And I mean, slow and steady, and now they have just grown with an amazing track record, and they can't guarantee money, but so far, they've not lost any, and they've got stop losses in place and all of that stuff. And it just, I'm real pleased with it personally, as well as what it's been doing for our co-op. So I don't have any complaints. Same thing with, Cash FX coming on board with all of their new stuff. Do you have anything to add this week, Claudia? I'm trying to think if there was anything that we didn't say on Tuesday.
Nothing's really changed since then. I know Huascar and his family all have COVID right now. That might be delaying the maintenance work that's being done. Excuse me, because he usually wants to review everything before it gets launched. So it might take a few extra days, but yeah, they should be putting out that debit card again very soon, and that's going to be a big plus because then everyone will have access to their money instantly.
And I have a question, and I'm going to turn off the recorder for this. Hang on. All right.
Ask a question on the dues, Nancy.
Yes, go ahead.
So that I had some investors come into that COTPS, and we ended up using the funds differently to fund, I don't know, whatever, the other program.
Yes.
We got so many going on.
Carbon and Novatech. Yes.
No, the new one.
The latest one is Carbon Elite.
Carbon, pardon me. Yes, Carbon.
Yes.
So are they required, those investors, to pay the $50? No.
No.
Okay.
No. And so here's what we discussed on Tuesday. I've been trying to figure out an easy way. Okay, we have the co-op that's been together forever, and I have that percentage because we added the Novatech, and I think that's the only one. So we have, let's just say it's almost 50-50 now. So let's just say the co-op owns half of Novatech and the pig group owns the other half. Okay. And then Carbon, everybody that participated in the pig initial, whatever, all is a part of that, and any of the other, projects that they want to do. So they can, and Angela made a real good point yesterday. I was trying to figure out, how can we combine these groups, or how can we do this? We need a steady stream of income coming in. And she said, well, this is how I was thinking about it. The co-op is where we are a dedicated bunch of people who every 90 days we're putting this money together. So that's a systematic, we know we've got this coming in. And she said, and I was thinking more about the pig group as individuals, where when they join that group, they could participate in a project individually as they see fit, as they have money. It just happens to be that the majority of the co-op members are also pig members plus outsiders. You know what I'm saying? So those that came in under the pig group, they are not required to do any of that whatsoever. It's just the original co-op people, and anybody that wants to join. And I'm going to tell the pig group, if you want to be part of us, you can. But, you know, I have to get you on the roster and we have to do all that. My
thank you.
deal is I need to know, okay, we've got 25 co-op members and I know for sure we'll have at least $30 coming in. And then if it's 50 or 100, it's just a gravy. You know, that way we can kind of plan on, okay, I'll have X amount of dollars. So where do we want to put it? Does that help you a little bit on that?
Yes, thank you. I just know that they had to pay that $50 kind of as an afterthought when they first invested. And so I wasn't sure if that meant that they had a continued investment that they had to make, or if it was just the one time. So
No,
that's
that
good.
was for the 99 was for the pig group membership. So
Okay,
you can
thank you.
choose to be one or the other or both.
Thanks, Nancy.
Okay. All right. So let's get into provision for your vision. One of the things, I'm going to share my screen. We got so excited, you know, last month, and the word that I kept hearing from everybody was hope. It gave us hope, regardless of whether the one platform went belly up on us. Everybody started in getting real excited, thinking about the possibilities that they had for their lives. What if? This is what I could do if. I mean, I heard so many wonderful, wonderful things, which really got me to thinking, okay, why are we not living like this all the time? Why are we not putting things in place, you know? And so I brought back a program that I had created way back in 2010 and kind of remodeled it a little bit for this workshop. And I thought, okay, we had this deadline set up for December. That was going to be our end game. So let's just do it again, except for this time, let's be a little bit more serious about it. And let's really put a plan together and put some action behind it, put some accountability behind it, and let's see how far we can push ourselves between now and December the 31st. And so the first step, we all know this, we just don't do it. The first step is, what's our why? What is it that we really want to create? And people get so caught up, you know, when I say what's on your bucket list, they start naming all these 50,000 things that they want to do between now and their lifetime. And when you do that, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you do that, there's no clear-cut plan of attack. It's just items on a list. You don't just go through there and check them off just to check them off. There's got to be a reason behind why you're wanting to do all of that stuff. And so what I'm going to challenge you to do over the next couple of weeks is I want you to think long and hard about what it is really that you want to accomplish with your life. And the way that I'm going to kind of present this, if you will, is, let's say that today, everybody here got the notice from the doctor that we only had 1 year left to live. That's it, 1 year. Okay. Let's also assume that we've got all the resources in the world that we need to do whatever it is that we want to do. Now that list is going to change just a little bit. Okay. Because even though you might have 5,000 things that you really thought that you wanted to do between now and the time that you die, now everything is different. Now you can kind of prioritize and get things down that are a lot more meaningful. And so that's where I want us to start. And when I did this back in 2010, I talked about, okay, what kind of, when I said, let's create, fund, and live a life worth smiling and talking about, everybody is different. So I was trying to figure out what kind of definition could I give people that everybody could get on the same page with me, that you could all agree to. And some of you have seen this before, some of you haven't, but I had the 3 pillars: purpose, achievement, and financial prosperity. And then I pulled all of that apart, and this is kind of what I've come up with. And if you don't mind, each one of y'all, I'm going to ask, Helen, would you read the mission for me?
Sure. create a lifestyle where I will have enough time, money, health, and fitness to do what I want, when I want, with those that mean the most.
Okay. And then I came up with a couple of commitment statements. Marcia, will you read the first one?
Pursue an exciting, well-balanced life filled with purpose, achievement, and financial prosperity. Aspiring to live a life of excellence in both my personal and professional life.
Okay. Bruce, could you do this one?
Live my life on purpose each day by investing my time, energy, and resources on things that truly matter.
Richard? I can't see who's in here. Can somebody call on somebody for me?
Helen?
I can go
Okay, go ahead.
plan my work and work my, did we get that one already? Sorry, blanked out. Plan my work and work my plan so that I can achieve my goals and how to do the same.
Okay.
Do what it takes to
To be
be,
healthy, look and feel fit, and age well.
Commit to living a highly successful personal and professional life, one that is pleasing to God and will inspire others to follow suit.
Use my gifts, talents, experience, knowledge, skills, abilities, and resources to make a significant difference in the lives of others, impacting my family, friends, neighborhood, workplace, community, nation, and the world in a positive manner.
And then I thought, okay, let's pledge it. Let's make a daily effort to live your life on purpose according to that. Would you agree that that is
Nicely done.
general enough that most people could get behind that?
Yes.
Yes. And
And
very
that-
well written.
Well, I thought that would give everybody a nice little framework. Okay, this is what we're aspiring to do. This would be, in my opinion, a life worth smiling and talking about. At the end of the day, if you could say that we did this, then we've all been successful. And so I know that there's a lot of groups and different things that they have different categories, but for me, for our intents and purposes, these are the categories that we're going to use to create our goals, if you will, in different ones. So we've got legacy, accomplish, and go see and do. And I used to call this the bucket list lifestyle. Okay, that's what I used to call this, because a lot of times people are confused. When they say bucket list, you usually think travel and adventure. What's something you want to do, instead of really looking at this in different compartments. So you have your relationships, which is your spiritual, family and friends, neighbors, coworkers, and community. And you know, when you ask people, what's holding you back, what do you think the two most popular things are that they say? Why they can't accomplish, or why they're not, why they haven't done it, why they've got all these ideas and haven't moved forward. What do you think the two?
Time and money.
Yes.
Time
Yes.
and money. Yeah.
Time and money. But would you believe that most people spend more time planning their wedding and their vacation than they do planning their lives? And you know, I'm probably just as guilty, probably not as guilty as some, because I've been doing this for quite some time, and I fall off the wagon from time to time, and I have fallen off this year, and I want to get back on track. And so one of the things that we can do is, I thought for the next couple of weeks, I want us to really focus on this and help each other get serious about a couple of things. And so here's the categories that I want us to look at. Health and fitness. Now, some of you may or may not need anything in this category, but it's my belief that we all need to work on our health and fitness, whether it's even just to maintain the great health and fitness that you already have. So I wanted to address that. And then this would be your business, where you are right now. This would be things you want to learn. things you want to accomplish and achieve. And then philanthropy, random acts of kindness, your charity work, all of that would be here. And then here is what normally people just think is their bucket list: places to go, things to see and do, and experiences. Okay, so the first thing that I want us to do is I want us to list, for yourself, I want you to have 3 per category. But for us, over the next 4 weeks, I want you to at least have 1 thing in each category. Okay, just 1 thing. Let's just say, if you found out today you were going to die, these are the things that I'm going to accomplish. And I'm not going to give you a year. I'm going to give you till December the 31st. And that's just going to be a fast forward deal. Okay. And just forget all the things that's going on in your head. Bruce will talk to us about mindset, hopefully in the next week or 2, because that's going to be the first thing. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have this. I don't have that. Well, that's where the provision for your vision comes in. The first step is find out where it is that you want to be. And then we have to take stock where we are. And then we have to create a game plan and a blueprint to get you from where you are to where you want to be. Okay. And so this is going to be your provisions. The top 2 are cash and time. So we're not even going to worry about those right now, because that's going to come. The first step will be, what kind of resources am I going to need? And then we'll do a category. We're going to do example here in just a few minutes. And then skill sets. Do you need an education? Do you need a certification? What do you need for this particular dream? Next, how can we help? That's what we're here for. So do you need connections? Do you need money? Do you need a certain kind of a skill set that we might can teach you? Our group, how can we help? And I don't want you to be shy. I want you to be honest, because 1, if we know where you want to go, then we might have an idea. We might already have been there. We might have a friend or a colleague that's already done it. So let's cut your learning curve in half, if not more. Okay. And then the obstacles. So the first 2 things when we do this example here in a minute is, the first thing will be, what obstacles are preventing you from doing it? And then what resources do you need? And then we're going to work backwards to get to some action items. Okay. Everybody clear on that? So let's just kind of go through 1 thing, something easy. Let's just say something you want to learn. Who has something that they'd like to share that they would like to learn? Anybody? Unmute yourself.
I want to learn more about the gold and silver.
Okay.
Purchase. Yes.
Okay. You want to learn more about gold and silver. Okay. What do you want your outcome to be? Why do you want to learn that?
I want to learn because I want to be able to purchase, and I want to be able to have the assets for my family going forward.
Okay, good. That gives us a background. Okay. She wants to learn more about the gold and silver because she wants to invest in that. And you'll notice on here, money is not on here because money is its separate category. Just so you know, that's the little millionaires in training card up here that you see. Okay. All right. So let's look. Okay. What is preventing her from doing this right now? Why does she not know about gold? Anybody? Everybody turn off your mics and let's just kind of go through this with her. Time. She's busy. She may not have the time. So she would need to block off some time.
The right information, knowing that she's got the right thing in her hand to study that's going to give her the best information.
Yes. And right now with the internet, it's so filled with junk as well as good stuff. How do you weed through and find the needle in the haystack, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Trust.
That's what I was going to say, is I think she needs a mentor.
Yes.
Yeah, a quality professional to coach her.
Okay. That would be up here under resources that she would need. Okay. So the first thing would be find a quality mentor, somebody that's done it. Okay. Somebody that's doing it right now, even. somebody that's had experience in buying and selling gold in that market.
I
Okay.
would say she would probably do well to be in a mastermind with like-minded people who have this experience that she can also learn from.
Good. Good. All right. Time. Let's talk about the time that she might need for this. How could she, if she's serious about it, what should she do?
She should block out the time in her schedule, just like she would block out the time to go to the gym or go to the dentist.
Yes. Anybody else have any ideas for the time? How would she even know how much time to do? I mean, could she just say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30, an hour, 5 hours? Where might she start?
Even if you start 30 minutes a week.
Okay. You could start with that preliminary research. She might say that, you know, this week I'm going to do preliminary research to do XYZ. So for example, she might this week search for a mentor. You know what I'm saying? And then everywhere she's at, whether she's in networking groups or whatever, she should be asking anybody in this group have any experience in the gold and silver market, or do you have anybody in your sphere of influence that's an expert? Right? So if you break it down into bite-sized pieces like that, it's a lot more doable than thinking, oh my gosh, this whole industry that I absolutely don't know, you know, anything about. Okay, skill sets that she might need. She probably already has the research capabilities because she's online all the time. Would you think? What other skill sets might she need?
Whatever it would take to actually make the purchases.
And that would also be up here in resources, because when she gets ready to invest, she would need some cash, right? Which goes over here, but it also, we need to make sure that on
Well,
these resources.
Well, the skill set being that she needs to know the process and what step.
Good. Okay. All right. Understanding the process. And somebody, I couldn't tell who it was, but somebody had said investing, you know.
I did.
Okay.
Juanita.
All right. Because yes, you would need to know, you know, when's a good time? When do people typically, you know, invest in gold? Is this a good time now? Is it a bad time now?
Yeah.
Do you buy, you know, where do you store it? You know,
Yeah,
when you think about all
understanding the
things.
market. Yeah.
Yes, yes, good. Anybody else have anything that they can add to that?
How to melt down the gold into nice little coins. No.
Actually, because I mean, we may have the ability to buy it, but if we don't know where the best place to keep it in safekeeping, right? So there's another piece that needs to be taken care of. That's very, I mean, this is a big thing that's been coming up for me. I mean, if you've got money, where are you going to keep it? If you've got silver, where do you keep it? You know, it's like, where do I put it so that it's in safekeeping? We can't trust the banks or anything that's connected to the, you know, the powers that be. So,
right. Well, and the little gold bullion coins, you know, you could have a little safe, but then again, you got to think about portability, which they do have these small ones. I've got a couple of small ones that I bought at Walmart that are fire and water, you know, proof or whatever, that you could put, you know, some stuff. But, you know, if something happens, you need to bug out, not trying to be a gloom and doom, but, you know, if you need a bug out bag, you know, you need to make sure that everything is portable, that you can grab and go.
You guys are bringing back these memories. My mother used to collect all the 50-cent pieces because they were solid silver.
Yeah.
Right now, I want to go to her apartment and find that little red bank I know she kept, because I remember taking a dime and a 50-cent piece out. I melted it down and I made rings in my art class.
Oh,
So right now,
wow.
I'm gonna go tell my brother. look
Wow.
for that little red
I remember
bank.
when they did that with
Cool.
spoon rings. Remember the spoons that they did the little
Yes.
spoon rings?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
She's got that little thing filled with 50-cent pieces that are silver. So I know there's a
Well-
little lot of silver somewhere at her house.
Well, might ought to check it out. You don't know what you got. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time. All right. So that is one for a skill set. All right. Let's see here.
How can we incorporate for the thing that you said about, like, you know, that you're gonna learn about with the ladies, so we can buy at wholesale and all of those type of things.
Yes, and that I'm going to get the link, and she sent it to me this morning. I haven't had a chance to take a look at it yet. But again, like I said, this is like the world-class #1 company matched with the #1 grading company, you know, and it supposedly is a match made in heaven. And like India, they're in like the next 3 days, they're supposed to have like 20 more countries available. And I know why it's so hot right now. It's because this is what everybody is saying. And so there's a huge market for it, for gold and silver, to get their hands on it. And India in
Mhm.
particular, she said, or both of them was saying last night that is one of the countries that they are just dying to, you know, to get them opened up.
And
Because
one of the things one of my cousins told me about is there's a cryptocurrency called Ripple. It's supposedly the only crypto that's backed by gold.
oh, wow. Wow. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Let's do an accomplish and achieve right quick. Who has something that they want to accomplish or achieve? Like some big goal that they would like to. It don't have to be a big one. It can be anything.
Well, I will tell you what I've achieved in the past 3 months.
Okay, go ahead.
2 years ago, when all this craziness started, I put on some weight. I wasn't overweight. I was still okay, but I'm now down to my goal weight. So I just
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Right on. Good for you.
Congratulations. Okay, so what was your,
Wunderbar.
let's see what you had. Okay. What was your obstacles that you had to deal with, Marcia?
I didn't know how to set up macros because I wanted the macros, carbs, fats, and protein.
Okay,
Sure,
so
I've helped women and men lose the weight and keep it off, but I wanted to take a different approach for myself. So I found a trainer who's very knowledgeable, and I'm with him right now. So he has set up those 3 things, and now he's given me a workout plan, and I go to the gym X number of times a week. I have a set routine that I do each day. I eat certain things.
okay. So you had to learn a new skill set. You had to learn about the macros, or you might have known about them. You just need to know a little bit at a different level and have somebody to help you with that, right?
Right.
So that was the also how we can help you, you know, found that. And then accountability, time, obviously, you have to be committed to go to the gym or whatever it is that you're going to do. Doesn't have to be the gym, but let's just say
Yeah.
for you, it's the gym.
Yeah.
And then accountability on this. And this is one of the reasons why I want us to do this together each week. I want us to go through this, and I want you to fill out, I'm going to send you all these worksheets. And for next week, I want you to fill out one thing in each category and only choose one for next. Okay. Fill one out in each category in this sheet. Okay. One item that you want to work on. And then for down here for next week, just do one of those goals and fill out the provisions that you need to accomplish that goal. And then let's go through it together. I want you to show it to us next week. Now, you don't have to put anything like too personal or anything like that. So just use something general if you want, but let us go through this with you together and help you put an action plan together. And let's just start working through these. And, you know, if you'll do your homework, and I don't mean spend a lot of time on this at all, but bring this together next week and we'll just get right in. We won't take 30 minutes, an hour like we did doing all the other stuff. We'll just go right into it. So I want everybody that's in here to have the opportunity to go through one of their goals each week. And then this is also going to serve as accountability, because if there's one thing that I've learned in setting goals and achieving big things, I mean, big things, and most of us want to achieve some really big things, is if you don't have anybody that'll hold you accountable, you might as well, you're just out there flapping in the wind. 1 second, Claudio, and then I'll let you have it. One thing that came across the platform this morning that was so interesting is Debbie McKinney had posted my Shark Tanks from back in 2000 and I don't even remember what year it was now. A long time ago, when I held an event with my idea that right now our pig group and our co-op was that idea in a different way. But it took all those years for me trying different things to get to this point. And so I don't want you to give up. You may have had something back years ago, just like this thing that I'm doing with y'all today. I created this in 2010. I did a book, I did some other things or whatever, but I want to share it. And now that I know the power of accountability and working together with a group of high level thinkers like we all are, the sky's the limit. So let's help each other. We say we want to help each other rise higher, go further, faster. Let's do it. I mean, seriously, let's put our minds to this thing. Let's not play around with it. Let's get serious about our money. Let's make a bunch of money. Let's impact the world. Let's do all these crazy things that we want to do, just as if we only had 1 year. Because that 12-week year that I read about, that Olivia was talking about in that book, you can do some mega stuff in 90 days. We have like 6 months left. We got July to December. Let's see what we can accomplish. And you know what? People do not respect what you do not inspect. So let's put it out there in the universe. This is what I'm going to accomplish before December the 31st. Let's just put it out there and let's see what we can do. Claudio, go ahead.
And just one quick question regarding those forms. When you send them, are we going to have the ability to edit them online, or will we have to print them out?
I'm going to send them over on Fiverr and get them to do a fillable PDF so you can just fill in the blanks.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm going to do that this afternoon. He just sent me the last edit last night, and so I didn't get a chance to do that this morning. So I'll try and get that done today. Hopefully it won't take them too long to get that done for me.
Nancy,
Yes.
are you finished, Claudia?
Yep. Thank you, Nancy.
Kate put a comment in the chat that next Friday is Canada's birthday, just like you celebrate Independence Day, July 4th.
Yes.
It's a long weekend for Canadians, so it's our celebration of our country.
Okay. So do we want to cancel and for a week? What's your ideas?
Like I won't be around.
Okay.
I'm gonna be out of sync, like out of
Okay.
wire.
Well, thank you. Okay. Thank you for letting me know that. And I'll put that on. Well, that'll give you an extra week then to work on your stuff, but don't procrastinate.
Do I need to say I'm out of the country right now?
Oh, goodness.
And I don't know if I'll ever come back.
Oh, look at
Can
you.
can I tell our quick story, Kate?
Yeah. Yes, go ahead, Richard.
We have a mutual friend in an NLP group, Mary Hossa, because we're telling us about this other great couple, and they're heading down to Mexico as well. They're in Toronto right now, blah, blah, blah. It's going on for weeks. Again, never said their names, never to each other.
And I was hearing it too.
Yeah. So we didn't know. And then last night she says, well, it's Kate Unger. I said, oh Christ, I've known Kate for 2 years now. Kate and Bruce, right?
Still never met it. We spent how long on the Vancouver
An
Island
island,
together and
a
never
year.
even met.
60 miles apart, never met yet. So we'll probably meet here.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
It just wasn't meant to happen yet. That's all.
When are you going, Kate?
We probably will get there in the fall sometime. We don't have an exact date because it depends on weather. We're leaving Canada on July the 17th or the 18th. This depends. Like we're going sort of out of town traveling, and we're working our way to the border over the next couple of weeks.
Are you still in
We're
Markham?
Yeah, right now I'm in Mississauga again.
I'd still like
Yeah.
to meet Bruce. I mean, I saw you while you were here, but I haven't met Bruce yet.
Well, we'll have to do that. And we got rid of our car yesterday. We don't have a car anymore.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
And so we're looking at electric bikes. We do have 2 bicycles. Bruce
See you
took them
later,
down.
Gary. Thank you.
Bye, Gary.
ahead.
And thank
Go
you,
ahead, Kate.
Gary. Thank you, Gary, for donating to the Ukraine project. I saw it. Thank you for thank you all.
And sorry, now where was I? Bruce took down the bikes yesterday and cleaned them all up because they've been on the back of the motorhome. And we used to ride all the time before we moved away from Toronto. We moved to the island thinking there's going to be lots of, great places to ride, but it's like this because it's all mountains, right?
Oh.
And I had a road bike with skinny tires, so I can't go off the road. And he's had a hybrid. So our bikes have been sitting and getting rusty for the last year and a half. So I cycled to the gym this morning. And so we're going to cycle until we find the e-bikes that we want. There's so much choice. If anybody has expertise or knows someone,
Oh,
please
wow.
tell me. Because it's a minefield of information. So we're going to get electric bikes. We're not going to buy another vehicle for a while. If when we get to Mexico, we decide that maybe we want something because we're planning on staying there for the winter. And Richard, we're heading in the direction of Lo de Marcos, which is an hour north of Puerto Vallarta. And it's not a plundered community yet. It's still a small village, and there's 2 RV parks on the ocean.
Yeah, speaking of vehicles, my daughter just bought one on Monday and they were supposed to take possession today. They were taking it out to get fueled up on Tuesday. It got T-boned. Now it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks to get another car.
Ah.
So somebody's not happy.
Oh, man.
Couldn't believe that.
Holy
Just to get it gassed
cow.
up.
Oh, gosh. How
Luckily,
horrible.
she
She's
did.
she's actually fortunate that she can get another one in 3 to 4 weeks, Claudio, because
Yeah, it's on the water right now.
so many cars are on back order still,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I
Yeah.
was going to say, okay, she had already taken possession. Is
No,
that-
she hadn't. So she was
Oh.
fortunate in that regard.
Okay, so they were filling it up so she could come pick it up, right? Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
they
They
said
don't
that
have
the-
it in their possession yet.
Well, that's
No.
good. That's
They-
good.
The
Yeah.
replacement, it's on the water right now. So that's why it's going to be 3 to 4 weeks. But I had heard people waiting 6, 7 months
Oh, yeah.
for a vehicle.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Well, I got lucky because our vehicle was at end of lease. And so we were deciding as to what we were going to do with it. And we thought the only option is either return it or buy it and resell it. And the weird thing is a week and a half before I left Vancouver Island, I was sideswiped on one side of the car on one Tuesday. And the next Tuesday, I don't know what the person did. Neither of them is a dent, but the scratches are unbelievable. And then driving to Winnipeg, I got stone chipped into the windshield. So new windshield and all that damage would have cost $3,000 to fix it. So I lost a lot of profit on the car because we sold it. The guy that took care of my lease actually bought the car, and he got it for the wholesale price. And then he's reselling it through a wholesaler. So he managed to get me a few $1,000s. It's less than what we would have got, but at the end of the day, after fixing the damage, we're only taking $1,000 less. So, but it's crazy. The energy out there, it's like, beware.
Wow. 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 And Richard, I just thought of something on your little journey. I hope you're journaling y'all's experience, because this would be probably a really great book.
Yeah.
To teach people how it's done and what you've done and the problems that you may have encountered and all of that. I just thought of that. That'd be excellent.
I have started a blog. It's on my website. We have 3 of our first Airbnbs. We started in 2020. So our intention is to go month by month for what we've been doing. But like I said,
That's a
just
good
a
idea.
suitcase and a backpack, which is pretty radical. So yes, we plan to as well. Thank you for that.
That's a great name for your book. Suitcase, what'd you say? 2 suitcases in a backpack?
Suitcase and a backpack, yeah.
Wouldn't that be a great title?
Yep.
Yeah.
2 suitcases and a backpack, how I blah, blah, blah. See there? Another $1 million idea by Nancy Gaskins. Y'all heard it here first.
Yeah, we're doing the same
Copyrighted.
thing. We're journaling starting to vlog our journey. Kind of stopped once we got here, but it's been such a heck of a year so far, so.
Right. Fantastic. Well, thank y'all so very much for coming in and humoring me with, all my ideas and all of that stuff. I love you guys, and I will see y'all in 2 weeks, and y'all enjoy your Canadian birthday.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
All right. Y'all have a
Thanks,
great
Nancy.
weekend.
Have a great weekend,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Hey, have
Bye.
a great weekend. Bye.
Everybody.